Hello there, listeners. This is part two of the kind of like introduction and general background of the podcast, Life in a Warzone. By the way, this podcast is a continuation. Yeah, it's a continuation to a preview podcast that is published in Spotify and in all kind of other places. You can check it out if you want. Life in a Warzone in Spotify. It have like 112 episodes so far, so lots of interesting stuff there. The early episodes are quite like similar to what I'm telling now. So if you go check the Spotify podcast, so better look not at the early episode. Um, so yeah, going to the roots of the things. Um, so I was speaking about the idea of separation as the base of how things get so fucked up, and then I got to the idea of ownership. That is another step coming out of the idea of separation in the way to this terrible war that is around me now. Um, so I was speaking about owning children, and how that's lead us to slavery and army, and then I was speaking about the men kind of like owning or believed to own his partner, the woman, and here we get to patriarchalism. Yeah, patriarchalism, the control of the father upon the family. If you ask me, this is the point that we completely, as a species, got out of balance. The connection between the genders got messed up and got violent and got disharmonic, and the leadership of the family, of the group, got instead of being like a widespread sharing life experience of a group, it became like a group that being led by a certain leader, and yeah, and into a certain goal probably, and it's make us very blind to our surroundings, to our human surrounding, to our ecological surrounding, just make us very blind. This balance of the relationship between the man and the woman. This is for me a very central, deep reason for the fact that we have this terrible war now in the Middle East. And I can just show you in present. Look at the Hamas leadership; it's all men. Look at the Israeli leadership; it's almost all men. Some parties in the Israeli government, in the party law, no woman allowed in the party. Really, like the religious parties. Um, yeah, soon we're gonna get to this religious stuff, or are we there yet? No, let's stay with ownership. So we said owning your children is messed up, owning your partner is messed up. Then you owning the ground. Now you're looking at the land, at the trees, at the plant, at the animals, and you're saying, I can own it. This is mine. I will decide who will enter this land and who will not, and I will decide what will people do upon this land and what they don't. This is my land. Or if you look in a group perspective, this is our land. Another completely messed up idea, if you ask me. And when you combine all those, when you combine owning children and owning partners and owning land, then you basically get a classic patriarchal kingdom. So those kingdoms started, as far as I heard, in around where is Iraq today and around where is Egypt today, and in the middle we have Israel that used to be called Canaan by the the first big empire that conquered the land and took power over the people that lived on it in a organized hierarchy way, is the Egyptian kingdom, and they named it Canaan. But later on, small kingdoms have been evolved in this land, and one of those kingdoms is the Jewish kingdom, or it wasn't called the Jewish kingdom. It's called the kingdom of it was actually there was actually two kingdoms that are mixed in the history of Judaism. It's the kingdom of Judea and kingdom of Israel, two separate kingdoms. Yeah, the Bible say that they used to be united, but the sorry, I missed a word. How do you call it when you investigate all kind of old stuff? Archaeology. Yeah, so the Bible say that those kingdoms used to be united. Archaeology say that it's not necessarily the thing. Anyway, two kingdoms, Judea and Israel, and those kingdoms brought something new into the world, and this is the idea of monotheism. Okay, so we go in another step forward in the reasons, as I see it, why everything got so messed up. So before monotheism, people used to see the world as moved by different spirits, different gods and goddesses. Yeah, the spirits were both male and female, and they controlled or moved different aspects of the world. I think every polytheistic religion had somewhere more in the back, more in the front, but somewhere they had the idea that all those spirits and god and goddesses are all actually one, unite. So I see things. I think everything is connected. So there is like one greater spirit. I like to call it harmony or love or something, or just this great spirit or something. But in the daily life, they used to worship this great spirit in her different aspects, to see all of her different colors. Yeah, in the shape of God and goddesses and spirits and stuff. And then came the kingdom of Judea, and before it, actually, it's idea that came from Egypt, the idea of monotheism. There was an Egyptian king that said, like, well, now people in my kingdom are allowed to worship only Ra. There is like one God, and only this God you allowed to worship. The rest of the gods are not, you don't allow to worship them anymore. It was an attempt for a religious revolt in Egypt that like, I don't know, all kind of academic people say that it happened really a bit before when we think that Exodus happened. If Exodus happened, you see, this kingdom that formed in the mountain of Jerusalem, we don't really know where the people came from. Well, religious people will say they came from Egypt in the process of Exodus, as it described in the Bible, but archaeologists think maybe they just came from the desert. Maybe they came from different kingdom that got broken. Maybe it was like a creation of an ally between like local tribes. All kind of idea, but the main point of it is that in a kingdom that is monotheistic. A monotheistic kingdom was evolved in the mountain of Jerusalem, and monotheism was a new idea. Basically, what they did, and you can just see it in the Bible. It doesn't. The Bible don't hide these details. Basically, what they did in the days of I think it was Solomon that took King Solomon, according to the Bible, that did lots of this stuff. maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's another king. Anyway, one of those monotheistic kings, or many of them, send messengers to all of the villages to destroy the temples in the villages and tell them, now you are only to worship in the main temple in Jerusalem. And by the way, when you come there, bring tax, bring like, I don't know, wheat or food or money maybe. Because basically, patriarchal kingdoms is just like a bunch of bullies that rob everyone around. It's just, this is what it is. There is a king, and the king have like lots of friends that have weapons, and they all like honor the king, and the king send them to go to all kind of villages and places and tell them like, give us money for the king, otherwise we will butcher you all. So this is what they did, and controlling the religion is an easy way to do it, because then once a year everyone have to come for their religious ceremony to Jerusalem, and on the way they will bring the taxes to the king. So they destroyed all the local temples, the temples that are connected with the local surrounding, with nature, probably with the local god and goddesses. So they destroyed them, and now people are allowed to worship only in the main temple in Jerusalem, and only to the one god. For me, it's very clear the connection between this one god thing and the one king. When you're a king, you want to be the one king. You don't want to share it. You want to be in the top of the hierarchy, because in this way you get maximum, I don't know, profits, food, money, something. Okay, power over people, power over stuff. So you don't want any others to be in the same level as you. And I think this idea is very connected with the idea of one God. Okay, you don't want any more gods around to take power from this one God that is basically an idea in the hands of the king. The king is the one that is chosen, of course, by this one God, so he can speak in the name of this one God, and he can tell people what to do and what not to do, and what to bring to the king in the name of this one God. And as I said, chauvinism is a very central pole in this, in how things went that bad in the building of these patriarchal kingdoms. So obviously this one God is a man. Now, some modern religious people will probably say about that God is not a man or a woman, it's above that. But come on, look at the Bible, read the Bible, read what the Bible said about God. Except the fact that in Hebrew, when you speak about something or someone, you always need to address it as male or female. There is no way to address stuff without it. So God is always addressed as male in the Bible. But also just read his behavior. This is very clearly a behavior of a patriarchal male character. So they took all the female, now all of the female goddesses are not allowed anymore. No one allowed to worship them. There is no female higher spiritual spirit present in the spirituality of those monotheistic people. And I think in the same way that men taking power over the family took the family out of balance and the society out of balance, so I think the taking out the goddesses away from the temple, make it like illegal to worship the goddesses, took the human spirituality and connection with the world out of balance. Yeah, so that's like the general background story. We can go a bit forward with that. I will make it into another part.